begged them to take action, and they refused.
The idea that if we only had one more bureaucratic entity studying violence, then our problems would be solved. That is ludicrous.
Gunfire taking 4 more lives here in Indianapolis, and now there's a battle about what to do over violent crime. 4 victims were found late last night. We don't know their identities just yet, and police do not have any suspects as of now. Our own Alyssa Donovan has been tracking this case since this morning, and she has more on what we know so far and the emotional reaction across that community.
Lauren, we still don't know much about what happened just before 10:30 last night at the apartment on Shady Oak Drive. It started when a neighbor told police they saw a back patio door that had been shattered and that they saw someone running from the building. Officers arrived on the scene and found 4 victims, all between the ages of 19 and 21, 3 men and 1 woman. All 4 of them died at the scene, and police have not yet told us who they are. The gunfire came after a heated debate last night before the Public Safety Committee of the City County Council. The head of the Fraternal Order of Police, Rick Snyder, joined council Republicans on the council in calling for a commission to study violent crime. Snyder has called for reforming policies on how long people who are arrested can be held in jail. But opponents of those policies say they often lead to people of color being held for longer periods of time. And today, the mayor forcefully pushed back that another commission would tell us what we know already.
Systemic poverty is creating a school-to-prison pipeline for generation after generation of our young people. Too many illegal guns are awash on our streets. Our juvenile justice system is antiquated. Our focus has been and will continue to be on action, not words, not committees, not commissions, but action.
The mayor and members of the council say they are already working on policies that target young people in poverty and try to steer them away from crime. Again, no arrests have been made in those 4 murders from last night. If you do have any information, police hope you will leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Lauren?
Alyssa, thank you. Now I want to bring in Todd Clausen and talk about our forecast today. A little bit of a tricky start for some folks this morning with the icy roads. Todd, what can we expect right now?
Yeah, you know, there's still a little bit of ice out there, not so much on the roads anymore since they've been salted, but certainly on sidewalks. And some overpasses could be slick in spots, but we're kind of transitioning from the icy aspect of things now to just a cold and cloudy afternoon as you take a live look off to the west here from downtown Indianapolis. There's been a few snow showers from time to time during the course of the morning hours, and that is expected to continue here throughout the course of the day. Nothing major, though, and you see a lot of these snow showers here across northern portions of central Indiana up towards Peru. A few more approaching Terre Haute. Will expand out, and there's even more back off to our west. And these will rotate through from time to time, but all this significant precipitation is off to our west. We're just on the back side of things throughout the course of the day today. There is a chill in the air. The clouds don't help. 29 degrees, the current temperature in Indianapolis, 30 in Bloomington. These temperatures won't really go up much more throughout the afternoon hours, but I don't think we see any snow accumulation while the sun is up. After sunset, as some of these snow showers rotate through, it's not out of the question there could be a coating in spots, but again, nothing major. If you do encounter one of these coatings here and there on the roadways, just give yourself a little bit of extra time. We do have a warming trend in the forecast. We'll let you know when that arrives coming up, Lauren, in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. New this midday, Kokomo police have arrested 1 person and they're looking for 2 more in a bizarre case which a woman was killed and a man claims that he was bound and tortured. Today, police announced that they had arrested this man, 31-year-old Troy Wilson. He's charged with criminal confinement. Arrest warrants are out for 2 more suspects, Uriah Levi and Stephen Allen. They'll be charged with confinement and aggravated battery. This all stems from an incident 3 days ago at a home on Cortland Avenue and West King Street up in Kokomo. 25-year-old Lachey Young Beard was found dead in the backyard of a home. A man inside the house was found tied up with duct tape in a bathtub. He told police he'd been confined for days and had been beaten and burned with hot water. With almost all the results from the Iowa caucus now released, it's a neck-and-neck race between Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders. As ABC's Trevor Ault tells us, they and the rest of the Democratic candidates are now preparing for a tough battle in New Hampshire.
As the last few returns from Iowa come in, it's a deadlocked race between Senator Bernie Sanders and Mayor Pete Buttigieg, separated by just a fraction of a percentage point.
We are winning the popular vote.
After announcing they took in $25 million in January alone, Sanders' campaign now announcing major spending plans for staffing and advertisements in upcoming Super Tuesday states, while Buttigieg continues to ride the momentum for what he called a victorious showing in Iowa.
A campaign that some said should have no business even making this attempt has taken its place at the front of this race to replace the current president with a better mission.
Former Vice President Joe Biden sitting in distant fourth place in Iowa, making adjustments after that disappointing start.
I am not going to sugarcoat it. We took a gut punch in Iowa.
His campaign with no public events Thursday, but Wednesday, the former VP launching more pointed attacks at Iowa's top two finishers.
For this party to nominate someone who's never held an office higher than mayor of a town of 100,000 people in Indiana, I do believe it's a risk.
7 candidates have qualified for tomorrow night's ABC debate here in New Hampshire, and given the rhetoric on the trail, it could be the most contentious so far. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Well, as you heard, the next contest is next week's New Hampshire primary. The only Democratic debate before that primary will be right here on RTV6. Live coverage of the debate starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. People who live in Indianapolis are one step closer to having somewhere to turn when landlords fail to help them. A proposal by the City County Council offers new protections and resources for renters. It's called the Tenant Protections and Legal Services Initiative. The proposal also allows the city to work with Indiana Legal Services to counsel tenants on their rights during disputes. The initiative still needs to be voted on by the full council. If approved, it could go into effect in the spring. The president is staying in office, and today he's blasting those who impeached him and a Republican senator who voted to convict him. That story is coming up. Todd.
And don't be surprised if you see a few snow showers rotating through central Indiana during the course of the afternoon and into the evening hours. But overall, it's going to be a fairly quiet stretch of weather as we enter the weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 12:07. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Little things new tonight on ABC.
Welcome back. A day after the end of the impeachment trial, President Trump is touting the vote by the Senate to not remove him from office. The president also took time to lash out at fellow Republican Mitt Romney, the only senator in the GOP to vote for conviction. ABC News' Andrew Dimbert is in Washington with more.
Donald John Trump, President of the United States, is not guilty as charged.
The months-long impeachment of President Donald Trump ending in his acquittal. And he was quick to remind everyone at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning, holding up headlines declaring the result.
When they impeach you for nothing, then you're supposed to like them. It's not easy, folks. I do my best.
Democrats long anticipated the defeat, with a 2/3 majority vote required to remove the president from office and a Republican-controlled Senate. A conviction was always a long shot.
Our Republican colleagues have rejected a fair trial. Truth. There's a giant asterisk next to the president's acquittal.
But while the president hoped to pick up some Democrat support, making his acquittal bipartisan, it was GOP Senator Mitt Romney who crossed party lines, voting to convict on one of the 2 articles of impeachment.
Mr. Romney.
Romney becoming the first ever U.S. senator to vote for the removal of a president from his own party. Romney saying the evidence was clear. Trump pressured Ukraine to investigate the Bidens for political gain.
My faith is at the heart of who I am. The president is guilty of an appalling abuse of public trust.
The blowback swift and severe. The president firing back.
I don't like people who use their faith as justification for doing what they know is wrong.
Others in the Republican Party have also expressed disappointment in Romney's vote, and Donald Trump Jr. going as far to say that Romney should be expelled from the party. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
Well, it is American Heart Month, and it's time for stories of inspiration. Next, we hear from a woman being honored for a radical change that's made her a whole lot healthier. Let's take a look outside right now from our Weather Now camera here in the downtown area. View to the west. We'll also bring you Todd Clausen's full forecast, looking ahead to your weekend. That's coming up right here on the News at Noon. Stick around.
Flooring, floors to your home, that too.
Welcome back. February is American Heart Month, and RTV6 is partnering with the Go Red for Women campaign, sponsored by the American Heart Association. This month, we're highlighting women who have overcome health obstacles and are now living heart-healthy lifestyles. That includes women like Allison Morrison, that take a look at these pictures. On the right is her heaviest. In the middle, down 50 pounds. And then the woman you see here in the red dress, well, she's lost 100 pounds. This year, Morrison is one of the finalists for the American Heart Association's Real People, Real Change Award. It's an award for people who have made an effort to live a healthier life.
Take it slow. Don't give up. Make tiny goals, and the tiny goals reach those daily and change your goals daily. But the little changes in your life lead to big changes.
Morrison says having support from her friends and family is another reason why she was successful. Tomorrow is National Wear Red Day. Don't forget, the American Heart Association hopes that you'll wear red to help bring awareness to heart health. All right, let's head back to today and take a look outside, though, Tom. This is a view of the downtown city skyline from the pagoda. It's a little hazy out there. We had kind of a chilly morning. Yeah. What can we expect right now?
You know, it's still chilly out there. There's no doubt about that. We had the moisture around this morning, that drizzle, and of course we had the ice on the ground from the freezing rain late last night, and then overnight into the early morning hours. We're sitting at 29 degrees right now in Indy, 30 in Bloomington, 32 in Bedford. So the only temperature at freezing is down in Lawrence County there in Bedford. Everybody else is below freezing, and these temperatures really not going to go up much more throughout the day today. About 29 in Peru, 31 in Indianapolis, 33 the high temperature today in Bloomington with lots of clouds around, and that is just about it. So Storm Team 6 radar picking up a few snow showers moving through, and don't be shocked if you see one here this afternoon or into the evening hours. At least while the sun is up, you won't see the sunshine obviously behind the clouds, but just like yesterday, we really didn't start to see that freezing rain accumulate into that slush until the sun set. So even if you do see a few snow showers out there, it will not cause any issues while the sun is up. Once we get past 6 o'clock and sunset, as some of these snow showers come through, it's not out of the question that there could be a little coating of snow here or there across parts of the area, but all this steady rainfall is going to be heading off towards the east. And here's TrueCast, and it shows you how scattered these snow showers are. If you do see one before sunset, the biggest issue would probably be reduced visibility on the roadways just a little bit. But even then, that's not a huge concern. I don't think these snow showers will be all that intense across the area, but a couple will linger overnight and even into the Friday morning commute for you, but not expecting as big of issues with tomorrow morning's commute with what we had this morning with all that freezing rain that was around and also all those school delays and closings. I don't think that should be as big of a problem come tomorrow. And here are your snowfall potentials, and mainly it's from Indianapolis off to the east, maybe up to a ½ an inch of snow, and that is just about it. That's something you just take the broom out and sweep it away, and you would be just fine. Obviously, in the roadways, if there's snow covered, just got to use a little caution and just be a little bit slower there on the gas pedal. Tomorrow, it's a quiet day, but not a bright day for us. Just lots of clouds around still. Temperature is just getting barely above freezing as we get into the weekend, a little bit warmer. Some scattered snow showers on Saturday, 36. Nothing really major there either. And then 43 on Sunday with some rain showers making their way through the area. And as we extend out into next week, we're looking at temperatures in the 40s. In fact, by the time we get to Wednesday, high temperatures, Lauren, could be back close to 50 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, Daymar Services has been providing help for people with developmental disabilities for more than 50 years now. Their annual gala is this weekend, and not only can you attend and donate to their cause, they also want you to help them land in the Guinness World Record book. So we have Jenny Peters-Reese with us here to explain. Thanks for coming in the studio, bringing this stuff. Talk to me first. before we get started, what are you making here today?
So our plan this weekend is to attempt a Guinness World Record for the most people making sensory bottles simultaneously.
Okay, so the folks at the gala will each be making one of these,
That's
correct?
the plan.
Okay, and so what exactly is this? We can see one right here.
That's right.
Yep.
So a sensory bottle is, it's an anchor.
President, TV news anchors that have supported the president, and as we listen to the music the president's about to enter, let's listen in.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Wow. We've all been through a lot together, and we probably deserve that hand for all of us because it's been a very unfair situation. I invited some of our very good friends, and we have limited room, but everybody wanted to come. We kept it down to a minimum, and believe it or not, this is a minimum. But a tremendous thing was done over the last number of months, but really if you go back to it over the last number of years, we had the witch hunt. It started from the day we came down the elevator, myself and our future First Lady who's with us right now. Thank you, Melania. And it never really stopped. We've been going through this now for over 3 years. It was evil, it was corrupt, it was dirty cops, it was leakers and liars. And this should never, ever happen to another president, ever. I don't know that other presidents would have been able to take it. Some people said no, they wouldn't have. But I can tell you, at a minimum, you have to focus on this because it can get away very quickly. No matter who you have with you, it can get away very quickly. It was a disgrace. Had I not fired James Comey, who was a disaster, by the way, it's possible I wouldn't even be standing here right now. We caught him in the act. Dirty cops, bad people. If this happened to President Obama, a lot of people would have been in jail for a long time already, many, many years. I want to start by thanking some of, and I call them friends, because, you know, you develop friendships and relationships when you're in battle and war, much more so than, gee, let's have a normal situation. With all that we've gone through, we've done, I think, more than any president and administration. And really, I say, for the most part, Republican congressmen, congresswomen, and Republican senators. We've done more than any administration in the first few years. You look at all of the things we've done. I watched this morning as they tried to take credit for the stock market from think of that. Let me tell you, if we didn't win, the stock market would have crashed. And the market was going up a lot before the election because it was looking like we had a good chance to win, and then went up tremendously from the time we won the election till the time we took office. which was November 8th to January 20th. And that's our credit. That's all our credit. And leading up to that point was our credit because there was hope. And one of the reasons the stock market's gone up so much in the last few days is people think we're doing so well. They liked the State of the Union speech. It really is. It's a true honor to give it. Making the State of the Union speech, I was with some people that have been around. They've been all over the world. And one of them said, highly sophisticated person said, you know, no matter where you go in the world, it doesn't make any difference. There is nothing like what I witnessed tonight. The beauty, the majesty of the chamber, the power of the United States, the power of the people in this room. Really an amazing. Even I don't think there is anything like that anywhere in the world. You can go to any other country, you can go to any other location, any other place. It's the beauty of everything. It's what it represents and how it represents our country. I want to start by introducing some of the people that are here. I know some are going to be left out, but they work so hard. And this is really not a news conference. It's not a speech. It's not anything. It's just we're sort of, it's a celebration because we have something that just worked out. I mean, it worked out. We went through hell unfairly, did nothing wrong, did nothing wrong. I've done things wrong in my life, I will admit. Not purposely, but I've done things wrong. But this is what the end result is.